There are things that you know. Then there are things that you know that you don't know. But also, there are things that you don't even know that you don't know. And those ones are the worst of all.
No, I can't waste a moment. Wake up before the sun. 24 on the shot clock. A new day begun. I can't look back to yesterday. I stay focused on now.
Alright, so Wagwan, brother. Welcome back to another installment of Edutainment. Y'all already know what the fuck going on. Subscribe to my other effing channel. It's free. It's all free. Every time you consume weed, you are paying a dumb tax. I'm not saying you are dumb, but you and I tend to do dumb things, especially if we're not aware of what it is each decision is really costing us. My question to you is how much dumb tax do you pay daily, weekly, monthly, yearly on weed? Now, every time you puff or consume an edible, whatever it is, I just want you to make an informed decision about your decision making. Oftentimes, we only notice the good sides, or we're only told about the positives of consuming X, Y, Z. But if you know the negatives or the lost opportunity, then you can make a more educated decision. Please note that anything that was intended to be used for good can, of course, use for evil. You know, they say, Spider-Man reference, with great power comes great responsibility.
Rick, listen, with great power comes
great responsibility?
I was going to stick with bitches, but if you want to be a virgin for the rest of your life,
and it is your responsibility to make sure that you're not abusing weed, to make sure that you're using it in moderation to help you, rather than using it as a crutch to deal with the bullshit of life, right? We know that when you consume too much, it can have a negative impact on your sleep because you're using the herb to self-regulate, and as a result, your body is no longer naturally producing melatonin necessary to sleep. Obviously, it makes you irritable whenever you are dealing with the stress in life and you don't have weed on hand. Anytime you have stress or something is anxious, some type of anxiety, you don't want to always use weed as the solution. You want to use things such as yoga, meditation, going for a walk, or just some other avenue to better deal with your stress. Like your breathing, focus on your breathing, focus on your breath. Breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth for 5 minutes. Things such as that. You don't always want to use weed every single time to self-regulate or to self-medicate, quote unquote. You know, the whole taking a spa day or a self-care day. Self-care day shouldn't always involve weed. That's what I'm saying. And when you get the munchies from weed, it makes you eat crappy food, hence negatively impacting your health and any fitness goals you might have had or you are working towards. And oddly enough, it does keep you stressed and anxious because you never really deal with your emotions. You always suppress it underneath. You never feel, obviously it's cool, you're calm, you chill, but you never feel the emotion, you never deal with it. You always just like use weed as a way to bury whatever it is was really hurting you the most. And it's not just about the act of smoking or that initial time that you pay for the blunt, the weed, whatever it is, but it's also the opportunity cost from smoking too much. Not too much, too much. No, I'm trying to be funny there. The opportunity cost from smoking too much. Instead of too much, I said too much. Okay. It's the opportunity cost of what you could have been doing with that time you used to roll up the blunt, to smoke, and then to be high for X amount of time. What could you be doing with your time, or what could you be doing with that money if you weren't smoking weed or buying it? Does it inspire you to go to the gym like you said you're going to? Does it inspire you to go holler at girls like you said you were going to improve your dating life? Does it inspire you to make more money in one way or another? That's my question to you. Like, I found myself personally, when I was watching a lot of porn, I did not feel inspired to go and talk to a girl. You know essentially what porn does to you? It's essentially, it makes you feel like you're already at the top of the game. You've already made it, because essentially when you open the different tabs, you were having sex with like 4 or 5 or however many girls you were having sex with based on the tabs, maybe 10 different girls at the same time. Or you watch the gangbang session of you, they say reverse gangbang, of you with 6 or 7 different girls. And it's like, oh, I don't need to do anything about myself to improve to get the outcome, because I'm already getting it. But you are just tricking your brain because you don't really have the outcome to begin with, you know what I'm saying?
Never play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Don't ever play yourself. Congratulations, you played yourself.
So during the days of you numbing yourself with weed, you could have created another stream of income to either replace your job or to use in addition to your regular job. So again, I need to make you clear that it's not just about the money and the act of smoking weed. Good or bad, it's up to you based on your own life situation, life circumstance. But it's also the lingering effects of weed that keep you stuck in procrastination, like the whole idea of brain fog and laziness and not really wanting to have that go and get it mentality, that Mamba mentality. Shout out to Kobe, RIP Kobe. So my question to you is, how effective are you currently, and how effective could you be if you either stopped or limited your consumption of weed to maybe once or twice a week, or once or twice every 2 weeks, or even less than that? My recommendation to y'all is just to go on a 1 week to 30-day tolerance break. At least 30 days, 30-day tolerance break, just to see how life is like without weed. Do you remember the last time you were able to go an extended period of time without weed? And if you watch some of my other videos, the video I did with Q the Fool, the rapper, the only time he actually didn't smoke weed was when he was incarcerated, when he was in jail for 2 years, right? So do you even remember what life is like without smoking weed as often as you do? And could you be more productive than you currently are, whether it is your business, your job, without smoking weed? Or could you, the money that you're buying weed, to invest in a weed company that could actually give you a more positive ROI on your time and investment? So the time you spent, you could have doubled your revenue. You could have, been spending more time in the gym. You could have actually gone out and started to approach girls and improve your dating life to some extent. So weed essentially, when consumed too much, it makes you lethargic. You are content with where you are in life, and you don't really feel the desire or the necessity to strive for more or do better. And it's already hard enough with the distractions of social media and it's consuming your time. Every time you're on those apps, they make money off of you. They make money off of your time, because time is now currency, right? So it's like, are you in a position in life where you can be chill? You can be content with where you are, right? Maybe you have goals to be the family kingpin. You wanna set your family up for life, and you may not be able to make as much videos or make as much content, music, art, be as productive if you're constantly high, right? Because you can't be working when you're high. Depending on what you do, it almost becomes a crutch every single time. Your overconsumption of weed is essentially keeping you in mediocrity and preventing you from creating your best life. So what I'm saying is, you are paying a dumb tax every time you are smoking weed, especially when you smoke too often. My goal of this video is not to necessarily make you quit or continue. It's just for you to know the opportunity cost that you're missing out on, financially, health-wise, relationship-wise, or even not relationship-wise, but dating-wise. You just want to smash when you spend so much time, brain, energy on the actual act of smoking weed, and the time spent thinking about when you will smoke weed next. You know what I'm saying? So how much income could you have generated by now if you weren't always lethargic, weren't always in a brain state of being high? I'm just saying, not everybody can be Snoop Dogg. Not everybody can be Wiz Khalifa. Just know yourself, because he who knows himself, he who masters himself, masters all. That's just something to think about. So my recommendation to y'all is to stop paying a dumb tax. I recognize my own lack of desire to approach girls and holler at girls when I was watching a lot of porn, and even the erectile dysfunction I was experiencing when I was trying to have sex because I was watching so much porn. I was desensitized to actual sex. What in your life are you currently desensitized to when you smoke too much weed? So, something to think about. As always, if it doesn't feed you, do not water it. Whatever you're watching, whatever you're listening to, whatever you're eating, if it doesn't nurture you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, don't water that shit. Remember as well, too much of any good thing is good for nothing. Alright, my G. Bruv, deuces.
Be back in my bag when the summer hits. Probably popping them tags when the summer hits. Run to the plug, I'ma cop me another fit. I'ma rock this up with summer hits. Seen her drippin', she told me I'm too legit. She a baddie, I know she gon'